Recently, I've been going down this rabbit hole on TikTok or Instagram about these like Lone Star ticks, and one bite from them can give you a red meat allergy. What the hell is going on, bro? Like, you genuinely can't have anything anymore. The government, the Illuminati, everybody is trying to get you, bro. The thing is, like, pretty much my whole life, I haven't seen ticks until very recently. So, not too long ago, maybe about like a couple months, I was on my little side quest vibes. I was just going outside trying to take some pics of graffiti, and out of nowhere I seen this wall that was next to all this like tall grass and like these trees. And me trying to be all naturey, I go over there and I sit in the grass trying to set up my phone on an angle so I can take pictures of myself next to the wall. And I think I was there for maybe like 5-10 minutes before I was like, okay, this is not gonna work, and I just left. But I was damn near sitting in the grass. Okay, just remember that for later. So I keep on going. I'm looking at other walls of graffiti, and I just start taking pictures. And this goes on for about like an hour or two of me just walking around. Eventually, I'm about to head home, so I go to like this public bathroom, right? And I go to sit down. As I'm doing my business, I feel something crawling on my arm, and then I look over, and it's this like black, like this little tiny bug, and I quickly swipe it off my hand, bro. Like, and when I look on the floor, bro, tell me why I see a damn tick, bro. This is before the whole like TikTok thing with the whole Lone Star ticks and everything. I had no idea about this. I see the tick on the ground, my heart drops, bro. The reason I was so scared is because I remember people telling me that like ticks like bite you and then they can get inside your skin or something. If that doesn't terrify you, then I don't know. Maybe you're a serial killer or something. So I seen the bug and I was like, okay. And so I freaking started stepping on it with my air forces. Bro, I take a look at the tick and it's still alive and it keeps moving. And then I go and start like stepping on it, damn near curb stomping that, like putting all my pressure with my foot. I lift my shoe, that dude is still alive, bro. I don't know who created these ticks, and they're probably like the worst ones that the government could have chose. And I think they chose them for a good reason for this new alpha gal syndrome thing that gives you red meat allergy. I left it at that point. I was like, I gave up. He won. He essentially beat my shoe. So then I got up out of the washroom. I was like, okay, wait, where did this even come from? I didn't just randomly get a tick on my arm. And then I thought back to the time where I was sitting in the grass for like 5-10 minutes, and I remembered I was like, usually ticks like hang around those kind of like grassy areas and they latch onto you. Oh my god, my heart drops for the second time. If it got on my arm, then what if there's like some on my hair? So then I start like shaking my hair. I'm scratching my hair trying to get anything out. Out of nowhere, I feel something crawling right down my leg. I was like, "Oh my god, no, this can't be it." I look down there. I lift up my pants a little bit to check, and there's another tick, bro. I freaking swiped it away like a maniac, and then the tick fell on the ground. I like squished it as much as I can and grabbed like a paper towel and like killed it. Well, I thought I killed it. I probably just threw it in the garbage instead. But like I'm in there paranoid, bro. After that, bro, I'm just like scratching over my body, scratching everywhere. I look like I'm having withdrawals from like some drugs. I just keep on scratching and scratching, and I was like, yo, this has to end, bro. I cannot live like this anymore. I can't just have all these ticks on me. And so as I'm walking out, I think I'm in the clear, right? I'm walking back to my scooter so I can go back home finally. And as I'm unlocking it, bro, don't tell me why I see a tick on the same pant leg. I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to like touch it. Because when I did some research before I left, I was asking ChatGPT like, "Yo, am I cooked, gang? Like, I seen like some ticks on my arm and my leg. Am I cooked, right?" And then ChatGPT reassured me. They're like, "Nah, gang. Some people like they keep the tick on you for like over 24 hours, and that's where you can catch like Lyme disease." Which apparently from this YouTube video that I watched about the ticks, Those were also created by the government as well, the Lyme disease, but I'll get to that in a bit. So ChatGPT was telling me that like you shouldn't touch it with your hand because it has Lyme disease on it and it can like contract onto your hand, and so I just didn't want to contaminate my hand with the freaking tick. I reached into my bag and I grabbed out like a receipt that I had from like a grocery store, and I pinched that little thing, scrunched it up as much as I can, and threw it in the garbage. At this point, I've just accepted that I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna check. And I went home and I didn't see any ticks on me. I checked everything. But the reason I'm telling you guys this story is because before this, I really did not know. Literally, you could just be walking through like those tall grasses and like they can just crawl onto you, which is I'm glad this happened like a month earlier. If I had waited until this new like tick infestation happened and I'm just walking around blindly, not like being careful for my surroundings, then it could have gone a lot worse. Yo, and the thing that I've been hearing about these new like Lone Star ticks is the fact that they're way more aggressive than regular ones. So there's like videos of the ticks actually chasing people. Like if you see this one right here, it's literally chasing someone through the sand trying to get to them. That's pretty damn scary if you ask me, and it does not seem natural at all. Apparently it's being bioengineered by scientists as like bioweapons to essentially just make society weaker. And this sounds like something that has to do with yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Another like high piece of evidence as to why these things might be bioengineered is because it happened in the past with Lyme disease. Like I said before, apparently there's like CIA documents that were declassified talking about how the CIA was they were dropping like 300,000 ticks in like Cuba onto like sugarcane farms. They're trying to weaken Fidel Castro's regime because like the highest import in Cuba at the time was sugar. You can see it on documents. It's actually real. The reason that the Lyme disease actually got its name and how it actually started was because there was this island where they were doing research on called Plum Island, and the government tried to deny that they weren't doing like bio testing, like they weren't testing on ticks essentially. But because the island was so close to this place called Lyme in Connecticut, these people started getting sick because I'm assuming maybe I heard that birds can actually like take the ticks and like fly to a different area, and that's how they can get spread. And so a bunch of people were getting sick and they kept on going to doctors, and the doctors were like, oh, we don't know what happened. We don't know what the hell is going on. They're just saying like, oh, yeah, you probably just have a common cold, or you probably just have a headache, a migraine. And the people were like, nah, this is not normal what we're experiencing. Because if you know about the symptoms of Lyme disease, it's like pretty bad. Like I'm not exactly sure. Like you get like sick, like very sick. And the fact that a bunch of people in the same area were getting sick with the same symptoms, and the doctors were just giving them the same like lies. Some of the original people that caught it, they started like noting down every single person that got sick, and then they freaking started sending it to the government like, this is actually like a real sickness. You guys need to do something about it. And so that's when the government finally they came up with like oh, you know what? That's called Lyme disease, and apparently it's been around for 60,000 years. We just never knew about it. It's very suspicious because the Plum Island incident, there was this one like scientist working there who was like an expert at ticks. That's where the whole government creating bioweapons using ticks came from. And if that doesn't convince you enough, in those documents, apparently they also used the same Lone Star ticks that we have now back in like 1967 or something. They took a bunch of those ticks and they put like this radioactive carbon 14 thing on them, which they can track with like Geiger counters, which is like a radioactive reading device. They sent a bunch of those down just so they can track where they ended up. That's very suspicious because if they were doing that back in the day, it only makes sense that they would be doing that right now. And so I really don't know if this is just another fear-mongering tactic that the government is using against us, saying like, oh, don't go outside because the ticks will get you. Don't go outside or you'll get an allergy to red meat. Honestly, at this point, I'll probably just leave it to God and take my necessary precautions, do what I can, and just like leave the rest to God. Like I've heard there's these like sprays that you can use. I think it's like permethrin or something that you have to like spray on your clothes and let it dry before you put it on because it can be like toxic to humans, but it also kills the ticks as well. That's one thing you can do to protect yourself, which I've heard. Another thing I've been seeing are these videos of like these ticks on like paper towels, and then they pour like an essential oil beside it, like eucalyptus oil I've seen, or tea tree oil, or like peppermint, and the ticks they like avoid it as much as possible. And I'm assuming like if you use these, it's probably more natural. You can actually like rub it onto your skin, and that will keep the ticks away. But other than that, like just take the basic precautions and just pray to God that none of that stuff affects you. That way you can actually like go outside and go on side quests and just enjoy life instead of being locked inside and being like, yes, Mr. Government, yes, I'll stay inside. But yeah, this video was a bit different. I usually try to read off a script. I wanted to kind of freestyle this one a bit because the script that I wrote for this video seemed like pretty informative. That's why I'm going to try making these kind of videos from now on for the future, just so it sounds more natural. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.